Yeah. All right, Rob, let's get right to it. You said it with the Jets. They are signing Trevor Siemian as their backup quarterback, I guess, to Zach Wilson, at least for the time being. And so we're going to get into that. But first, let's hear from Aaron Rodgers. Of course, Aaron Rodgers getting injured a few weeks ago, and on the fourth play of the game, the first season opener, is what has sent this Jet season into a tailspin. He's still doing his weekly appearances on the Pat McAfee show. And in that game on Sunday, that loss to the Patriots, Rob, Garrett Wilson, the young star wide receiver, and Michael Carter were seen being upset, frustrated, perturbed on the sidelines with the state of the Jets offense. And here's what Rodgers had to say about it.
We need to understand this is part of it. It's not always going to be pretty. The most important thing is winning. You saw what happened in Green Bay. They were down 17-0 and came back and won that game, an ugly game, 18-17. It doesn't matter. It's like you win the game. That's the most important thing. However, you got to get it done. So, there's been, I think, too many little side conversations, and we just need to grow up a little bit on offense and lock in and do our jobs, everybody, and not point fingers at each other. And that's everybody. We don't point fingers at the coaching staff. Don't point fingers at each other. Just get back to work and get the job done.
Rob Parker, your thoughts?
I don't know. What is he going to say? Oh, yeah, that was great. Mix it up. They're losing. The season's going to go down the drain. He's trying to be like, give them some advice from afar and be a voice of reason when everybody knows what the issue is, Chris. And the issue is they once again find themselves without a quarterback. This is what it is. So am I surprised that there's frustrations by players? And there'll be more if they continue to bring Zach Wilson out. You don't need Joe Namath. Joe Namath is 80 years old. Do you really need Joe Namath to tell you that this guy can't play? Who are the people in the front office, Chris? Who are the owners? Who's the general manager? Really? You need Joe Namath to tell you that? You knew it last year. That's why you dogged the guy publicly and you undressed Zach Wilson because you knew he couldn't play. That's why you gave up everything, including the kitchen sink and your aunt's biscuit recipe to go get Aaron Rodgers because you knew he couldn't play. And somehow, some way, the freaking Jets didn't have a backup plan. Shame on you. How in the world could that guy have ever been on their roster as a backup quarterback when, God forbid, a 39-year-old could get hurt? Chris, not miss the whole season like Aaron Rodgers after 4 plays, but there was always a chance he could get hurt. And they had no backup plan. That's why they're where they are. With some good young offensive players, Chris, they can run the ball. They got a couple of wide receivers, and they got a defense. And now their season's about to go down the toilet. Yeah, Aaron, I get it. You're trying to be the grown-up in the room. But it doesn't feel good. You know why? Because Aaron wasn't there last year, Chris, to go through what these players are about to go through again. They were there. They felt it. They saw their season last year go down in flames. You remember they got off to a great start and didn't make the playoffs. They tried every quarterback that they could get a uniform on last year rather than put Zach Wilson out there. And here he is out there to start again. I don't blame the players. Who wants to go through a deja vu when you know what the outcome is? The outcome is poor quarterback play and no freaking playoffs. I'm sorry.
I got no problem with them starting the season with Zach Wilson as the backup. Guys improve. I've said it many times. Jordan Love is playing good football right now. Wasn't ready to do that last year, the year before. So guys can improve. And thinking that, hey, he can learn under the feet of Aaron, and he's a backup. You aren't expecting your backup to be a Pro Bowler. So I'm fine with that. My problem with the Jets is their new plan. And the new plan appears to be Trevor Siemian. Yeah, that Trevor Siemian. The one that has lost his last 6 starts dating back to 2019. The one who is a 59% completion percentage for his entire career, actually a little bit below that. All right? That's my issue. And I've never caped for this guy. But when you look at what's out there, I'm a cape for him now. You should have got Carson Wentz. At least I get it. Carson Wentz was terrible last year in Washington. I get it. Carson Wentz has had problems in the locker room with teammates. But I also get that Carson Wentz has probably been humbled beyond anything else he's experienced as a professional athlete. And I also get the fact that Carson Wentz, the successes he has had, and just 2 years ago, he threw 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions for the Indianapolis Colts. 2 years ago, he put up numbers that Zach Wilson and Trevor Siemian can only dream about. And I guarantee you that if Carson Wentz walked into that Jets locker room, that Jets clubhouse, the players would feel like, you know what? We can do something with this. If we get the good Carson Wentz, then we can actually win and make this a season. They're not thinking that with Trevor Siemian. Trevor Siemian, they'll say, maybe he just won't screw it up. Zach Wilson, they're saying, we can't win with him. And the chief concern of the Jets now has got to be, are we going to lose the locker room? We got 14 games left. You can't throw in the towel now. You got talent. You have to go get a quarterback who can make something happen. And maybe he'll screw up. Maybe he won't play well, but he certainly won't be worse than Zach Wilson. And Trevor Siemian, just whatever.
I don't, Trevor Siemian, I just, that's their answer.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
That's their answer, Chris. They should be, they all should be fired. If that's all you get, there's other quarterbacks out there. My God. Trevor Siemian is not going to get you anything. You can't ask your defense to pitch a shutout, okay? That's not going to get it done. The Patriots won a game, Chris. They scored 15 points. They won a game. But the Jets, you're asking the Jets defense, normally, Chris, if you hold a team in the NFL of 15 points, that's a win.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a good job. That's a good day's work by the defense.
There you go.
Right.
That's a win.
And you weren't even within a field goal of that. Their best play of the day, Rob, offensively was a Hail Mary. I mean, it didn't work, but it was close. It's your best play of the day. This is abysmal what the Jets are doing. You start out talking about Super Bowl aspirations and all that, and I get it. The reason you talked about it, the reason people thought it might happen, he's gone. He's hurt. So now you're just supposed to bail? Because that's what you're doing with Zach Wilson. I mean, come on. And Rob, did you hear Robert Saleh say you just don't give up on people? Did you hear that today?
Yeah, I heard that, yeah.
That's great in life. Of course we all feel that way.
Nobody's throwing him out with the bathwater,
right. Chris,
or saying he can't do something else, but he can't play here.
I mean, maybe he'll be a career backup. I don't know. Nobody. This is the NFL. This is supposed to be a meritocracy. If that's the mentality, you'd never cut anybody. You can't worry about hurting somebody's feelings. And that's life.
Chris,
I've had my feelings hurt. Rob, you've had your feelings hurt. It's life.
And you could easily have if he said that, a reporter should have asked him that. So how did you ever cut anybody? You gave up on those guys. Why did you make cuts? Right? That would have been my response to that, Chris. You're right. Put them on the spot. You cut people before. You know why? They weren't as good as the other 47 players who made the roster. That's why you cut them.
Guys who dreamed all their life of making it to the NFL. Guys who don't know what they're going to do if they don't play in the NFL. And you cut them. It's life. They'll figure it out. It's life. And here's the thing, Rob. Robert Saleh better wake up and smell the coffee. Now, maybe Aaron Rodgers getting hurt will buy him some extra time.
I'm not sure that.
Maybe. I know. It might not. Because they will throw you out, Robert. And I actually think he's not a bad coach. But you can't. Look, man, you got to get a player. You got to get somebody who at least has a chance of making it happen for you and the Jets. So they shouldn't be done, man. They should not be done. And again, Rob, I'm not saying Carson Wentz is great. I'm just saying he got more upside than Trevor Siemian and Zach Wilson.